watching Game Day Live Overtime, sponsored by Alexander's Steakhouse.
Welcome back to Game Day Live Overtime. It's now time to take a deep dive into the big games of the night. We welcome to the studio Jonathan Michael of Clutch Sports Media, who covered Washington and Metamora. Jonathan, your thoughts on the Panthers' 24-0 win?
Yeah, I mean, what a start for both these teams. A lot of big plays right at the start, but Washington kind of settled in. They were able to, again, really establish their momentum, establish this tempo early on. They love to run the football. That's what they did, and they did it very well against Metamora. Defense, though, I mean, shutout against Metamora. That was an offense that was hot coming into tonight. Really impressive for them.
Well, in these huge rivalry games, you want those momentum starting plays, and we kind of got that at the start. Metamora started with a 50-yard run. Washington started with a 50-yard run. Metamora on the very next play recovers a fumble. So kind of a wild start, and then almost nothing for the next about 12, 15 minutes of game time. Tell us how you think the players kind of settled in after that.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty crazy. Again, when both these teams are very run-heavy teams, it's easy to kind of settle in, just kind of just run behind your linemen. Linemen on both sides really did a lot of great work tonight. But again, Washington was able just to kind of do that again. This is a battle-tested team, right? They lost by one week one. They won a close game by a touchdown last week. So I think they were able to kind of, again, you say, hey, we've been here before. We've been battle-tested. Let's settle in and let's get going. And again, they were able to get going early on. Noah Garcia had a great-looking touchdown pass to Owen Klein. That really was, I think, the big kind of turning point, making it a 10-0 game from a 17-0 game.
Well, how about William Freeman, too? Fumbles on the second play of the game inside the 10-yard line. He bounces back, gets a rushing touchdown early in the second quarter. Tell us about how the rest of his night went. Yeah,
Freeman was just, outstanding. Again, he had that big run to start. I think he was well over 100 yards. Don't have official stats, but again, he's been over 100 yards pretty much every game for them. And he's a guy that has really worked on himself just as a player. He was their fullback last year. Now he's a true tailback that has lots of speed. He's also their middle linebacker on defense. So Freeman is really the heart and soul of that Panthers team. He had a great game tonight.
All right, we appreciate you so much, Jonathan, for your insight. Looking forward to having you for the next 6 weeks as we get Mid-Illini play started. Now let's send it across the studio to Kurt Pegler for our second matchup.
All right, thank you, Patrick. Joining us now, Steve Cease from our Twin Cities newsroom. You can follow him on Friday nights for score updates on Twitter at Prof. Cease. Steve covered tonight's matchup between El Paso Gridley and DMAC, a game that we thought was going to be a barn burner. But, man, El Paso Gridley, Steve, from the opening kick, just dominates this football game. That was impressive for the Titans.
Yeah, Kurt, got my first great pork chop of the season, but that's unfortunately the best thing I can say about DMAC tonight. EPG dominated in all three phases, but it was the defense that came up the best for the Titans tonight. 5 turnovers, 4 of them were in the first half. Almost had a clock runner by halftime in this game because of those turnovers. Leading the way for the defense tonight, you saw the highlight, defensive lineman Ryan Kerr, the big man, a fumble recovery and that interception for a touchdown. We love seeing linemen score touchdowns, Kurt.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at these numbers that you had tweeted out. 6 yards passing for DMAC. I mean, literally, El Paso Gridley just defensively put the clamps on a DMAC team that's got weapons.
Yeah, and every single time the Chiefs tried to get going, it was a turnover, a penalty, just couldn't get any traction all night. It was the complete opposite for El Paso Gridley on the offensive side of the ball. Quarterback Owen Adams shined again. He's been great all season. 4 touchdowns tonight, 3 of them through the air, 1 on the ground, and everybody he threw a touchdown to, also a junior or a sophomore. So EPG looking good this year and for years to come.
Well, the one thing about the Heart of Illinois Conference, you cannot celebrate a win for too long, and you can't look at a deficit as far as a loss for too long. DMAC has a matchup with Tri-Valley up next. The Vikings lose a tough game tonight, so both those teams coming off losses, and El Paso Gridley and GCMS, unbeaten teams, were going to go head-to-head. So both these teams have big, big games coming up, too.
Yeah, and, for the Chiefs, not easy facing a Tri-Valley team that doesn't lose very often, trying to get a win back after a tough one tonight. And El Paso Gridley can't rest on the laurels, right? I mean, you're going up against another 3-0 team next week.
All right, Steve, we thank you for your analysis. That was just such a stunning result, but an impressive win for El Paso Gridley. Again, great job with the game tonight in Mackinac. And we thank Steve for helping us out, and he will do that all season long. When we come back, the top nominees for play